Many people going to the table today wondering how to navigate so many things. Many people around the country say they feel the same way. In fact, look at this. A new poll says 6 out of 10 say they are hoping to avoid discussing politics altogether, while 29% say, let's have the conversation. 59% say recent events have not changed how they feel about that, while 30% say they're even less likely to talk politics this year than last. By the way, only 1 in 10 feel better about the idea. So this morning, we are inviting Christine Porath to show us some tips on how to navigate some of those difficult conversations this year. The goal is really to make sure that we hear each other and have some peace around our table today, right?
Yeah, I think it's all about knowing your goal. And for me, it's all about preserving the relationship. And so even if you have different ideas, it's really reminding myself that I love them. I don't know how many more Thanksgivings I have with them. I want to set a good example. And so you kind of control what you can control. And for me, I would be an avoider.
So do you professionally or personally have a go-to line? There's someone in my family that always says offensive things, and it just makes your skin crawl. So I'm wondering, is there like a good go-to anytime that comes up?
Yeah, well, we're a sports family, so I would say, how about those 49ers or something like that? So you deviate to what you have in common, where the shared values are. In my family, sense of humor goes a long way, but you're trying to tap into your empathy, I think, and connect on a common ground. So whatever that may be, you can get up and walk away if you really have to, even to kind of gather yourself so that, it doesn't escalate and you don't say something that you're going to feel bad about later.
Christine, I have to say, as we have this conversation, I fail at this. This is my worst skill on the planet. And it's brought a lot of pain, right, to a lot of interactions. Yeah. I want to get your take on something. Is it better to not talk about the what is believed, but rather the why the belief is held? Because I think if we get to the why of the belief, maybe we can get to the value that you talk about.
Yeah, I love that idea. And that's actually what I do with family members where we're kind of at opposite ends of the spectrum. Is I know we grew up similarly. I know we share the same values, even religion-wise, but we don't necessarily agree politically. And so for me, it's holding on to I love this person, I respect their values, and even though we agree on this particular political issue, it's important to remind myself about, kind of the shared values, as you mentioned. I think that's so important. And again, going back to control what you can control. So regardless of what they say, I'm going to take the high ground. I don't want to be regretful. I think regret is a really hard emotion to deal with. And I often hold on to that. Like the phrase, who do I want to be, is my go-to.
So do you think it's important to visualize as you head into the Thanksgiving Day dinner just to get yourself started off right?
Yeah, I love that. And in fact, keep in mind the characters that may be at the table and what may come up. And then in the moment, I usually just bite my tongue because, again, I don't want to say something that is going to ruin the meal or in any way fracture the relationship. It's just not worth it to me. But, I know people feel differently, but I just think if you can tap into empathy, if you can tap into a sense of humor, if you can focus on, those shared identities, the shared sports fans, shared values, that goes a long way.
Well, Christine Porath, thank you so much. I believe in everything you're saying. Again, I give myself a negative F grade at it. So I'll keep trying. Thank you very, very, very much. You're in South Carolina, but you chose a beautiful background there. Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's not easy, right? It's so hard sometimes.
How about them Niners, Reed?
How about them Niners? Look at the weather.